Perhaps then we should look at the Astra's chief rival, the Ford Focus ST. This has 5 doors, so it's more practical than the Vauxhall. It's £5,000 cheaper. And at parties you can say you own a Ford without blushing. But it simply isn't as nice to drive.
Instead of taming the front end with proper mechanical engineering like Vauxhall did, Ford has used electronic systems, and the truth is, they're not as good. You can sense the electrons doing their absolute best to keep things neat and tidy, but you can also sense them failing. There's torque steer, there's understeer, and then there's lift-off oversteer. There. It is a smorgasbord of waywardness.
I also have to say the Ford has a particularly unpleasant interior. And it doesn't look very good from the outside either. Nowhere near as good as the Astra, that's for sure. So, as an enthusiast car, I have to say, the Vauxhall is better.
But this is Top Gear, and I can't very well sit here and say, hey, petrol heads, the best hot hatchback is a Vauxhall Astra. That'd be like a travel person saying, hey, holidaymakers, the best place for your summer vacation is Belgium.
So, let's keep going and look at another option. The Renault Megane 265. This is the darling of all the car magazines. They love it. And it's easy to see why.
You can just tell this car was designed by a team of people who really know what enthusiasts want when they're on the track. It's sublime. They've even fitted it with a special readout that shows you how fast you went from 0 to 60, how fast you did the standing quarter, your lap times, how much power you're using, how much brake you're using, your throttle position, a graph, an extreme graph, your G-meter. The Stig just loves this. He's been running around all morning squawking and clutching at his tinkle.
And I have too, if I'm honest.
It's just an amazing combination of nimbleness and brute force.
There's no doubt that it's more exciting than the Vauxhall and less wayward than the Ford, and faster than both of them. To show you how much faster, I engaged sport mode and pulled up for a drag race.
Watch and learn, Vauxhall. What? Come on! Come on! Faster! Come on! That was not supposed to happen.
Much to my surprise then, the Renault was the slowest. And when you bear equipment levels in mind, it's the most expensive too. And it's also the least nice.
Sitting in here is a bit like sitting in Eel's gloomy place. It's all very dark, and everything you touch and everything you use feels flimsy, like it will come off or break at any moment. And the back's very cramped, and the ride's very hard. And this seat is very low down and very snug and gives you an idea of what it would be like to be buried alive. And look at this. You can't wear a pink shirt or it'll clash.
So, while this may be the nicest car to drive on a track or a deserted moorland road, it would not be the nicest to live with on a day-to-day basis.
That means we arrive at a rather worrying conclusion. Because if I were to choose one of these three cars to drive home in tonight, it would be the...
What happened there?
There, the camera broke.
Did it?
Yeah, no, it just literally broke then.
Did it?
Yeah.
And what were you about to say?
I can't remember.
You were about to say the Vauxhall.
A bit. No, it is a surprisingly likeable car. It just is.
No, but isn't that a bit like saying Piers Morgan is a surprisingly likeable man? But in the end, fundamentally, he's still Piers Morgan, isn't he?
Awful man. Yes, no, it is a bit like... It is, I know what you mean.
But look, hold on a minute, because the Ford is £5,000 cheaper. It's the most practical with the most doors, and we've just seen it's the fastest.
Yeah.
But I'd have that.
There is a lot to commend the Ford, you're right.
I like the Renault, actually.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is brilliant buyer's advice, isn't it? I'd have the Ford, you'd have the Renault, and he'd have the Piers Morgan.